grabbed hold of one of my arms.
Okay.
And I was just like pulling away.
A 14-year-old boy sentenced for sexually assaulting a 91-year-old woman. Now I have his entire confession.
Would it be safe to say, or would it be accurate to say that you had an opportunity and you took it?
Yeah.
Welcome to Crime Fix. I'm Angenette Levy. Jesse Stone is now 15 years old, and he is going to prison for a very long time for breaking into his neighbor's house and sexually assaulting her. The woman was 91 years old and had actually befriended Jesse and other teens in the neighborhood. This happened in Reddick, Florida in June of 2024, and it was shocking. The neighbors could not believe it.
Not obvious. Hey, did you see anybody run through here or anything?
Not to my yard, but I went in the house at 9:30 to eat dinner.
Okay.
And came back out with my son and said he saw all the cars coming up here.
Okay.
And I was sitting there for a minute. And
Your son live here too?
Huh?
Your son live here too?
Yeah, my son lives here. My daughter and son-in-law are down here from West Virginia on vacation.
Okay.
There was a car earlier that came up there, like when it's still daylight out there, but I think that was one of her friends.
Okay.
It looked familiar, like I've seen the car before.
Okay.
But nobody's been in my yard because I got dogs out and stuff.
Right. Okay.
She okay?
I hope.
I mean, I've known this lady since I was 10 years old.
Okay. I mean, it appears somebody was over there messing with the house, so.
That lady's daughters wanted her to move so many times out of here, too. She kept saying no, no, no.
All right.
Detectives brought Jesse Stone in for questioning after his DNA came back as a match to DNA in the victim's underwear.
Man, you doing all right? You need anything? All right. Jesse, I'm Ryan, and we're going to come in here and talk to you just a little bit, okay? We're waiting for your mom to get over here, just so we can all be here and talk and figure out what's going on, all right?
Okay.
You sure you don't want water or anything?
Okay.
If you need some, just give this door a little knock, all right?
Okay.
Jesse Stone lived with his grandmother, who had custody of him. She shows up, and detectives confront Jesse with the evidence.
So we sent your DNA and the sex kit up to the Florida Department of Law Enforcement, who does the testing and stuff for stuff like that.
Okay.
Okay, is there any reason at all that your DNA would be on her clothes?
Yeah, we when I said goodbye to her, we hugged, like a side hug.
Okay.
That's.
Let me be a little bit more specific. Your DNA was on her underwear.
What?
And so I want you to really use this time here to be honest with me about what happened that night, because I think that we know what happened, and I think that your mom knows what happened, because she also wrote down a list of times that you went in and out of the house that night, to include the time that the call came in. And I think you probably know that you wouldn't be in here unless we had a good reason to put you in.
I don't see. What?
It's not about C rating, John. It's truth.
Yeah, truth. It's impossible for my DNA to be on her underwear.
That's what we like to think too, brother, but that stuff doesn't lie. That stuff doesn't get made up. And sometimes the truth can be hard. You seem like a really good guy, man. You seem like you got a good head on your shoulders. You make connections with people that need help. You go out there and you help other people. And there's people out there sometimes that make mistakes.
Come over here, and I want to make sure.
It doesn't make you a bad person for making a mistake.
Did you know that your personal information is being harvested online and sold by data brokers? Yes. Anybody can buy your personal information. When this happens, you're at risk for a whole host of things like identity theft, becoming a target of phishing scams, potential stalking, and honestly, a whole lot more. And that is why I want to tell you about Delete Me. Delete Me can keep your personal information private. I use Delete Me, and it's crazy what I found. The site uncovered 5 data brokers with my personal information and removed my data from 7 listings. Doing that myself would have taken a full 8-hour workday, and they will keep monitoring the sites for you so your information doesn't find its way back on there after the first removal. So right now, you can get 20% off of Delete Me and protect your personal data when you go to joindeleteme.com/crimefix and use promo code CRIMEFIX at checkout. That's joindeleteme.com/crimefix, promo code CRIMEFIX. Jesse Stone's grandmother is with him as the detectives show him photos of the victim, who Stone actually beat up.
She deserves the truth to be told, and you know it. Personally, I can't believe that this is a horrible thing, Ricky John. That's a horrible thing.
I don't even have the ability to do that.
Well, it's hard for me to believe, too. It's really hard for me to believe, too, that you would do a thing like this.
I didn't.
But how many times have you been caught in lies?
I know.
And this is the whole reason why you're on restriction. It's because you're not telling the truth about things. If this woman deserves to have the truth, she deserves it, and you know that.
What?
Don't say why's, Ready John, because why doesn't exist here.
I wasn't at her house.
Ready John, it's across the street. Look at her. Look at her. Look at her face. That's
I don't even think like that.
I've never seen you hurt anybody, but
I don't want to hurt
what the hell are you doing outside at that time of night? It doesn't make any sense. Do you understand? Ready, John, it doesn't make any sense. There's a million different things you can do. Being outside where you don't belong, and you know you don't belong out there.
I'm sorry, but I'm an outdoorsy person.
You're not an outdoorsy person. You're a sit in front of the TV kind of guy.
But I don't have TV. I'm outside.
Well, I don't know. I hope and pray you did not do this to this woman.
didn't.
I hope and pray. I hope and pray you did not do this. Because this is horrific. This is a human being. And she deserves justice. She does. If this would have happened to your sister, what would you do?
Murder whoever did.
If you know anything about this, Randy John, for her at least, if you care about her, tell the truth. Tell the truth.
You know,
We've been down that road before where you've been lying about something and you swear up and Randy John, you've lied about stuff before.
Now that Jesse Stone has been sentenced, his full police interview is available. It wasn't previously. Slowly, those detectives get Jesse Stone, whose nickname is Randy John, to confess.
Well, let's imagine that this is the pillow. Show me what you would do. If she was kind of in front of you, show me what you were doing.
I was just kind of like holding it there so she couldn't really see me. And I was holding it down a little harder, closer to her mouth so she couldn't really scream or yell.
Okay. And at some point you said you told her to what did you say? To be quiet?
I didn't say anything, I don't remember.
Okay, I thought you said that you told her to be quiet. Okay.
Why'd you put the pillow over her mouth?
Because I didn't want her to scream, I was just shaking.
Was she screaming?
She's trying to say something.
Okay. What were you watching on the iPad? You said something very specific that you were watching videos. Tell me about that.
Just YouTube videos.
You sure about that? Because what I find hard to believe is that you can tell me what kind of videos you were watching. They were YouTube videos, but you can't tell me what happened after you put the pillow over her mouth. I think you were watching something else on that iPad. I need you to be honest with me, Randy. Sometimes the hardest part of the story is the thing we give the least detail about. And I can understand it, man. You're 14, you have so much more of your life to live. But what we need to understand, man, is we need to understand the truth. And I think you're telling most of the true story here. But I think you're conveniently leaving some parts out.
Jesse Stone later admits to watching pornography on the victim's iPad.
Because it's probably been eating at your heart, man. So I know it's in there. I need you to take this off your heart, man. So I don't buy the whole I don't remember. Because I know you remember. I don't think you're some cold-hearted killer that doesn't remember. Because we deal with those kinds of people too, man. But I don't think Randy John's that guy. So, tell us what happened.
What's the first thing that happened when you got into the room?
When I first went out to the room, she was turned on her side.
She turned on her side, is that what you said?
No, she was turned on.
She was on her side.
Okay. And then what?
I just kind of stepped forward to make sure she was still asleep.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if she heard me move, but we saw in the corner of her eye. But she turned, like just her head, she turned. And that's when I put the pillow on her.
Okay.
Then what happened?
She was trying to move the pillow off in her, so. And she started grabbing my shirt. And that's when I let one of my hands off the pillow to try and get her hand off my shirt. And she was able to move the pillow. So I put both my hands on her face, one on her eyes and one over her mouth.
When you say, help me understand, so did you hit her face or you just covered her?
Just covered it.
Okay.
And then what happened, man?
She started to try and get the rest of her body off the bed.
Jesse Stone goes on to explain how he tried to stop this 91-year-old woman from getting out of her bed.
She grabbed hold of one of my arms.
Okay.
And I was pulling away.
Okay.
And I let my other hand off her mouth to try and pull her off from my wrist.
And then what happened, buddy?
She tries to get up, and I think the first time I hit her was when I was trying to get her back down.
What did you hit her with?
My hand, I thought she was still laying down, but she was sitting up, so my hand was pretty quick. I'm not sure where I hit her at, but.
Did you have make a fist, or was it a slap, or?
I think it was more of a slap.
Okay.
Because I was trying to put my hand back where it was on her mouth.
Okay. You said that was the first time that you hit her? What about the next time?
It was the first time. I started trying to find something I could use to wrap her arms up.
Did you find anything?
I was trying to get the blankets I could, but she kept moving her arms around. I couldn't quite get them where I could wrap them with the blanket.
And then what happened? said she was on her side and...
I would have pushed her onto her stomach.
Okay.
Is that just to keep her from, like, flailing off the bed, or what was that for?
Just to put her in a position where she couldn't, like, just reach up and grab me.
Okay. When did you get on top of her?
She was moving her legs around a lot, and I was just trying to get her to stop moving.
Okay. Is that why you got on top of her?
I believe so.
You believe so or you know so? That's what I'm trying to understand, man.
I don't remember everything.
I know you remember, Randy. Don't. When we've already gone through that, I know you remember. Is this something you're not going to forget? I know you remember. Because you're wrapping her arms up, man. You're putting her on her stomach. Help us understand that, man. Because I know you're not going to forget that.
I was panicking.
I know you were panicking. I know you still remember.
Randy, what do we present? Did you rape her? Okay. But were you on top of her? Okay.
Jesse Stone is in the hot seat, and he certainly doesn't want to admit to what he has done. The detectives already have a full account of what happened from the victim, so they know her underwear had been removed and ended up on the floor.
Help me understand. How did it end up on the floor?
Went to pick her up to move her farther onto the bed. And I grabbed about where the waistband was to pick her up. She like twisted or something, and my arm slid down her legs. I'm not sure if that's when they came.
Where? You said they snapped when you grabbed them?
What?
You said they, what did, I didn't hear what you just said.
I wrapped my arm like around her waist,
Mm-hmm.
and then she like twisted,
Okay.
and my arm like slid up her legs.
Was it on top of her nightgown, under her nightgown, or something else?
I don't remember if it was on top or under. I
I feel like every time we're coming to something that's really difficult to talk about, right, John? You're telling me you don't remember. So what I'm trying to understand, man, is you're out there in her living room watching YouTube, and then you're watching pornographic material. Well, I get it, man. I've been 14 before. I've been adult. It's a totally normal and natural thing. What I'm trying to understand, man, is it went from progressing from you being in the living room to going into her room, and then her underwear is on the ground. Help me understand that. Because I want to believe you, Randy, John, but I don't know if what you're telling me is plausible. I think the reason you went into that bedroom was to have some sort of sexual relations with.
no.
Tell me.
I went in there to make sure she was still asleep.
For what reason? Because before you made sure she was still asleep and you slept. What I'm trying to understand is, man, why are you grabbing blankets and tying her arms up? You're a fast guy. You could have been out of there. You could have just left, but you stayed. You put the
Because I
pillow
was
on.
freaking
I
out.
understand you freaked out.
When she woke up, she grabbed my shirt.
I believe that. 100% believe that. What I'm trying to understand is how a 14-year-old young man goes from watching probably was aroused by that, and that's fine, totally natural, to going into this old woman's bedroom and then progressing to tying her up and putting her arms behind her back. I don't think that's how you planned on it going down. I think you did panic. I think that's reasonable. But I want to know that you're telling me the truth. We deal with this kind of stuff every day, man. Like I said, this doesn't make you a bad person. But I want to understand the truth, man.
And Randy, you also need to remember, we've already talked with. She remembers everything that happened.
And we generally don't ask questions that we don't have the answer to, right, John? And I think you're being mostly honest with me, except for the parts that you just don't want to relive, man. And I don't want you to have to relive them either. But like we said from the beginning, man, from the jump, we're not doing this for us. This isn't about the sheriff's office. This is about. Mm-hmm. And I saw a true reaction out of you when you saw those pictures. I know you're not that kind of guy.
Yeah, I don't think you meant to hurt her that bad.
I think you went in there with maybe hormones got the best of you, and you were thinking with the wrong part of your body for a moment. Mm-hmm. And you know what, man? I think every teenager has been there. I think you were just kind of caught in a bad situation.
The detectives believe Jesse is minimizing what he did.
Did you pull them off? Did they get tangled up? I mean, tell me, obviously we know that they came off of her body. And obviously we know that your DNA is already on there. So we know that somehow you came into contact with them. I just want to know how. Was it some violent maneuver where you just reached in and just ripped them off, or did you just slide them off?
She was on her stomach.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you with your mouth.
When she was on her stomach, she was trying to get onto her knees to get up. Mm-hmm. And I was trying to find a way to get her completely lying down. And I was trying to lift her up to get her legs from under her.
Okay.
I lifted her by her underwear.
Okay.
And then I was trying to get her legs from under her, and then I ended up pulling them off of her.
Eventually, Jesse Stone admits to hitting the victim in the face and sexually assaulting her with his hand.
So that if I went, then no one would know about it.
She said, I'm sorry, she said if you what?
If you stop now, then no one would know, or something like that.
She said that to you? And what did you say?
I didn't say anything, I just let go of her.
Okay.
I grabbed her pillow and I put it on her head so that if she turned it, she wouldn't see me.
Okay, and then what happened?
I left through the door.
The same door you came out? Or the same door that you came in, and that was, you said earlier that was the living room door?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I went to my house. When I went to open our screen door, I noticed that there was blood on my hand here. So I went over to our hose and I washed it off.
Okay.
And my shoes got wet, so I took them off.
Jesse Stone was charged with burglary and sexual battery. The detective presses him about why he went to this woman's house that night.
Randy, John, I feel like you probably wish that this had never happened. I honestly still believe that you never really intended to hurt. Because you care about her.
Yeah, I don't intend to hurt anyone.
But, one thing I'm still a little bit kind of unclear about is, what was the original reason that you went to her? Like, why did you go into her house that night? What were you planning to do?
Just chill somewhere where I wasn't being watched and I didn't have to quite be outside.
Okay, so were you planning to use her iPad?
Planning, no, just something that came to mind when I was there.
Sure.
Kind of an opportunity deal.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's when you were watching the pornography and stuff? Okay.
How many times have you gone in a house like this? Kind of in the middle of the night?
That was the first time.
And
every other time that I've been walking outside, for the most part, just like chilling outside, either in the backyard or across the street.
yeah, have you tried her doors before?
No,
Because it's kind of odd that the first time you got in was the night she left the door open. Explain that to me. Because I know when I talked to Detective Hardigan before we came and talked with you, you made a statement to them about how she always locks her doors.
yeah.
So help me understand that right, John. One night she leaves the door unlocked. You make it inside.
I went over there the first time, and then I decided to see if the door was open. But I didn't go to that door first. I went to her sliding doors on the other side of the house.
Right.
The porch door?
No, next to the kitchen counter, next to the table. It's like,
I see what you mean.
yeah, it's like blinds there.
Yeah.
I tried those doors first, and they were locked.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then I went to the kitchen window and I tried to see if that would open. And it didn't open.
Jesse admits to Detective Boyd that he started watching pornography when he was just 10 years old.
You mind if I give you some more stuff? Sure. So, how old were you when you started watching the porn videos?
My friend showed them to me when I was 10.
10. So you've been watching them since you were 10?
Off and on, yeah.
Okay. How often do you think you were watching them before you got put on restriction?
Once or twice a week.
Okay. And what kind of stuff were you watching? Looking at pictures? Were you watching videos?
A mix of both.
A mix of both? Okay. And what site do you normally use?
Oh, the XNXX.
XNXX. And that's all it's called? You just put that into Google, XNXX?
Yeah, it was the website my friend showed me.
Okay.
When Jesse Stone was sentenced in January, his attorney argued for a lesser sentence.
His brain was nowhere near fully developed when this incident happened and is still probably 10 years off from that being the case. He had a relatively difficult childhood. He had no father figure in his life whatsoever. And certainly none of this is an excuse or justification by any means for what happened. He is remorseful about what happened. You've heard testimony about that. He pled guilty. But he, lost contact with his sister, I believe shortly before this happened. He very minimal contact with his mother, and he was essentially raised by his paternal grandmother. Despite all that, he's done fairly well in school. He got ahead of grade, made pretty good grades, A's and B's, I believe it was. We believe that indicates that he would be amenable to supervision as well as specialized sex offender treatment. As the state points out, he does suffer from depression and ADHD. And obviously there are plenty of people that have depression and ADHD that never get involved in anything like this, but that combined with his childhood certainly doesn't help. As a 14-year-old boy with, again, no father figure in his life, he appears to be somewhat get addicted to pornography and things of that nature on the internet. I'm sure that didn't help this situation.
Jesse's grandmother also spoke on his behalf.
Once Jesse is released from whatever period of incarceration the court deems appropriate, will you be there for him?
Absolutely, if I'm alive still.
Will you help support him kind of getting back on his feet into the community?
Absolutely.
Okay. Is there anything else you'd like Judge Herndon to know about Jesse?
Just that he isn't the person that did this act in a natural way. He's not this guy. I think personally he panicked or something. I can't explain what happened, but he's a person that you love, you care, you liked having him around. He was a good person. He is a good person. And I mean, I care about I really do. And I don't know what's really fair here. I was myself recently attacked, and for me personally, the way I felt better is to have the person get help, because I think people who are in that situation, they need help. And prior to him, this incident happened, I was already reaching out for help. I called the police a couple different times trying to get help for him. I called the school counselor trying to get help for him. But nobody seems to, that end of things, they failed. And I really believe had he gotten the help that he needed then, he would not be here right now. I mean, I really believe that.
But the crime was just so brutal. This was a 91-year-old woman who befriended kids in the neighborhood. She was a Christian woman. The judge sentenced Jesse Stone to a lengthy prison sentence.
All right, Mr. Stone, this is unfortunate for you, for the victim, for both of your families. I'm going to start with count 2. It's a burglary of a dwelling with a battery, which is punishable by up to life in prison. You're adjudicated guilty and sentenced to 25 years in the Department of Corrections. That's going to be followed by 30 years of sex offender probation. You're going to have to follow the sex offender probation conditions set forth in 948.30, which includes sex offender treatment, a variety of other things, including polygraphs, no use of the internet without a risk assessment, no contact with children under the age of 18. I don't know that that's going to be applicable in this case, but I assume all those are still going to apply. You cannot have any contact with the victim in this case, which means that no phone contact, third-party contact, no contact in any manner whatsoever.
Jesse Stone will be nearly 40 years old when he's released from prison. He will have to register as a sex offender, and he'll be on probation. That's it for this episode of Crime Fix. I'm Angenette Levy. Thanks so much for being with me. I'll see you back here next time.